Hello students, today we are going to discuss some more important factors from lesson heat. What we discussed so far? In the last session, we have discussed absolute humidity. What is absolute humidity? Availability of water vapors within the given volume of air. That means if a box prepared of 1 meter in length, 1 meter in height and 1 meter in breadth, then that volume is considered as a 1 meter cube or 1 cubic meter. So it is a unit volume. So within that air block, how much kg of mass of water vapors available, that is called as absolute humidity that we have discussed in the last session. Now we are moving to the next part. See, what is the feeling or feel of air that is humid or dry is dependent on two things. The first is water vapors. If water vapors are more, that means absolute humidity is more. So definitely the air, we will feel that air is humid, and if it is less, then the air is dry. But here, dryness or humidness of the air is not only depend on the water vapors. So it is depend on temperature, because we have discussed that when temperature decreases, water vapor capacity also decreases. So by decreasing the temperature, we can make that air saturated, that within the dew point that we have discussed. So humidity or dryness of the air or humidness or dryness of the air is depend on two things, that are water vapors and temperature. So to consider this one, we are moving to the next point, that is relative humidity. See, relative humidity means what? With related to humidness or dryness. So here relative humidity is nothing but what? It is a ratio. Ratio of what? It is a ratio of actual mass of water vapors. How much are present now? Actual mass of water vapor contained in air in a given volume and given temperature. That means suppose temperature is 40 degree and volume is 1 cubic meter, then what is actual mass of that water vapors to mass of water vapors needed to make the air saturated? We have discussed at 40 degrees Celsius in 1 meter cubic air or in 1 only kilogram air, the water vapors needed to make it saturated, that is 40.9. Yes, 40 at 40 degrees Celsius it is 49 gram that we have discussed. So that is the mass needed to make the air saturated. So how will you explain this one, or how will you define this? Relative humidity is a ratio of actual mass of water vapors contained in air in a given volume and at a given temperature is to mass of vapors needed to make the air saturated in that volume and for that temperature. So this ratio is relative humidity. But how to find? Yes, there is a formula. So percentage of relative humidity is equal to this ratio I have written as x into 100. By this we will get the percentage of relative humidity. See now, for example here, at temperature 50 degrees Celsius, suppose it is a saturation limit. That means for 1 kg of air block, it can hold 60 gram of water vapors. So for 60 gram water vapors at a 1 kg volume, 1 kg, the block of air, that is also mass. But here at 50 degree, this is the limit. If that much gram for 50 degree, if you add within that 1 kg of air, then definitely that air will be get saturated. So it is a mass needed or mass of vapor needed to make the air saturated. Now the first condition, available mass is only 30 gram per kg. That is the available. So percentage of relative humidity is equal to actual mass 30 gram. Then needed 60 gram. So we are getting here. So what is the 1/2 of 100? That is equal to 50% humidity is there. Need is 60, availability is 30. So 50% is the relative humidity. That much, how much needed to make it saturated, 50% we having now. Now concentrate on the second one. Need is of 60 gram and availability of only 42 gram. So availability is 42 gram and the need is 60 gram into 100 to find the percentage. So we are getting here 70%. Got it? So within this 70%, now relative humidity is 70%. Means what? As relative humidity is 70% means what? What is needed to make it saturated? Within that we having 70%. Again 30% it needs. Then we will make that air saturated. Then see here, as relative humidity is a ratio of actual mass is to mass needed, so it is a relative humidity. When relative humidity is more than 60%, that air is considered as a humid air, and if this relative humidity is less than 60%, then this air is called as dry air. So this is important. Less than 60% relative humidity, air is dry, and if more than 60% relative humidity, then air is humid one. But tell me, now discuss about this one. What for the dew point? Dew point means what? Dew point is that temperature at which the air gets saturated. That means need is equal to actual mass. So when need is equal to actual mass, get divided, cancelled, and relative humidity will be 100%. So at dew point, relative humidity percentage is 100. So this is very important. At dew point, relative humidity is always 100%. After this, we are going to discuss the new point, that is the scientific reason behind this. What is this? From your childhood, you have been discussing or have been asking to your parent why we are observing the trail of a aeroplane. So see here how the trail is going to form. After combustion of fuel or ignition of that is fuel within the engine, what comes out? The fume. Along with that one, water vapors will come out. And if these water vapors get condensed, when water vapors get condensed, when saturation over or saturation is completed and little extra water vapors are there that we have discussed, the extra water vapors condenses, and this condensation with the dust particle and the fume give itself, and there is a formation of cloud. And after the aeroplane or behind the aeroplane, we are getting this trail. But sometimes what going to happen in the winter? See, first we are discussing this one in the winter season. What is going to happen in the winter season? The first of all, within the winter season, temperature is less. Because of less temperature, water holding capacity is also less. So when water holding capacity is less, relative humidity is more, and here relative humidity is more. As compared to this, it having the less relative humidity. So each and every energy will transfer from high level to low level. So here is also it having the more energy because it having the more relative humidity. So this water vapors will not go because energy will not go from the less to more. So like this one here concentration is less, here more, and so it will push as it is, or it will give pressure as it is. So the clouds formation is for long time, and after the aeroplane, you can observe the trail of the aeroplane as it is. So because of condensation of water vapors which is coming out from this engine, and there is a formation of cloud. But see, the opposite thing is going to happen in summer. What is going to happen in summer? Actually, because of more temperature, because it is the hot sun rays now, and so relative humidity is less, because water holding capacity increases as there is an increase in temperature. And here, as the fumes water vapors will come up, so here we having, see, this is the upper condition, it is the lower condition now, more. So this more water vapors can easily disperse. That means here, to make the potential energy equal, so this more water vapors will transfer to the less area. So whatever extra water vapors are there, which is responsible for condensation, it will transfer to this less belt. And as it transfers to less belts, there is not a condensation. So as condensation is not there, definitely cloud formation are not there. And as clouds are not forming there, definitely you cannot observe the trail. But sometimes you can observe trail and it will vanish within a second. Why? Because here relative humidity is less and relative humidity is more. In winter season, surrounding air having the more relative humidity and the trail having the less humidity, relative humidity. So that cloud formation or condensation is for longer time. And here in summer, surrounding air having the less relative humidity than the trail. And so it will transfer, it will disperse. And so condensation is not going to happen, and then we can't observe the trail. What is the unit of heat? There are two units. SI unit of heat is joule. It is represented by or denoted by J. And the Celsius unit is a calorie. It is denoted by cal, that is Cl. So now we are discussing what is meant by 1 calorie heat. See here, just you have to take a pan within which you have to take that is 1 gram of water. It is a mass. So if you take the 1 gram of water, the present temperature, consider that one is a 14.5 degrees Celsius. Now you want to increase the temperature of this water by 1 degree Celsius, that means 15.5 degrees Celsius. So what is here? You have taken 1 gram of water. Then the present temperature of that water is 14.5 degrees Celsius. It is a normal temperature. Now it having that temperature, you want to increase the temperature of this water by 1 degree Celsius, that is from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. Then what to do? You have to give heat or not? Yes, because if it absorbs the heat, its temperature get increased. Or whatever may be the amount of heat, suppose this X amount of heat we have given. So it is called as 1 calorie. Means what? The amount of heat necessary to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius, that is from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius, is called 1 calorie heat. Then second point is there within that one, what is meant by 1 kilocalorie heat. As you want to get a kilocalorie, here only one thing you should do. Instead of taking 1 gram, you should consider here 1 kilogram of water. So what is meant by 1 kilocalorie? The amount of heat necessary to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius, that means from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius, is called 1 kilocalorie heat. Then what is the relation between 1 kilocalorie and calorie? 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calorie. Then what is the relation between SI unit and CGS unit? See here, 1 calorie heat is equal to 4.18 joule. So what we have discussed so far? We have discussed relative humidity. What is relative humidity? Relative humidity is a ratio of actual mass of water vapors for that given volume and given time to the mass of water vapors needed to make it saturated for that given volume and given temperature. If this relative humidity is less than 60%, then it is considered as a dry air. And if relative humidity is more than 60%, then it is considered as a humid air. Then we have discussed why we are observing the trail in the winter and not in the summer after the aeroplane. And later we have discussed units of heat. Then SI unit is joule, CGS unit is calorie. And then two definitions we have discussed, 1 calorie heat and 1 kilocalorie heat. And later we have discussed what is the relation between kilocalorie and calorie, and here calorie and joules. Thank you.